Welcome back, guys. Coming up in today's video, 4 stocks that showcase the textbook definition of a perfect swing trade setup. Make sure you watch the discussion on all 4 of them so that you don't miss a great money-making opportunity. An important update, the latest labor market data is out and it's better than expected, which means more people are employed than anticipated. Now, while this is great news for the economy, it's not necessarily good news for the stock market at the moment. Why, you may ask? Because more jobs mean more disposable income. This drives higher demand for goods and services, which can potentially fuel inflation. Higher inflation reduces the chances of a rate cut by the Federal Reserve, which has already cut its projections from 4 to just 2 potential rate cuts this year. Without rate cuts, there's less liquidity flowing into the stock market, which can dampen investor sentiment. So tread cautiously, folks. Now let's dive into the technical chart of the first company on our list today on the daily time frame. On June 20th, 2024, this stock began an uptrend visible on the screen. An uptrend is a rising trend line that connects the stock's higher lows, and it often acts as a springboard for price movements. Currently, the stock is trading just about 0.7% above its uptrend support. This proximity to the support level means it's sitting at a potential inflection point. If the stock finds support at this trend line, it could spark a short-term rally. Assuming an entry at the current market price, the downside risk is limited to roughly 0.7% if the stock breaks below the trend line. On the upside, if the stock maintains its uptrend and retests its recent high, it offers a potential upside of 30%. This results in a highly attractive risk-to-reward ratio of 1 to 30. Now, if the stock breaks its trendline support, this setup flips and it could become a strong short-selling candidate. If you're considering this trade, monitor the price action closely. Remember, a decisive close below $11.23 invalidates this setup for the long side. The stock also has an immediate resistance level at $11.31, which traders should watch. Adding to the confidence of this setup is the fact that the stock is hovering near its 200-day exponential moving average, EMA, a strong technical indicator of support. However, it's trading below its 50-day EMA, which sits around $12.50. If the stock climbs toward this level, that's still an impressive 10% potential gain upward. Now, a quick note about the company itself. It operates in the utilities sector and has a market capitalization of $273 million. Pure Cycle Corporation develops diversified land and water resources. Its core operations include water and wastewater services and land development. With an income of $13 million on sales of $29 million, it boasts an impressive profit margin of 46%. Its price-to-earnings PE ratio stands at 20, and it generates an earnings per share EPS of 56 cents. This is Pure Cycle Corporation, PCYO. Let's move to the second company on our list and dive into its technicals again on the daily time frame. On February 23, 2024, this stock began its uptrend. Just like the first stock, it's following a rising trend line that connects its higher lows. Right now, the stock is trading about 0.7% above its trendline support, a level that could provide a base for a rally. Assuming an entry here, the downside risk is limited to 0.7%, while the upside offers 26% if the stock retests its previous high. This setup results in a risk-to-reward ratio of 1 to 26. If the stock fails to hold this trend line and closes below $12.30, the setup for the long side would be invalidated. However, the immediate resistance is at its 200-day EMA, which is forming at around $12.44. This level could serve as a rejection point. It's also worth noting that the stock is currently trading below its 50-day EMA, which is something to be cautious about. Interestingly, today, the stock has printed a green candle almost precisely off the trend line, a positive sign for bulls. About the company. It operates in the industrial sector and has a market capitalization of $332 million. Before I reveal the name of the company, may I humbly request you all to engage with the video by liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. Every week, I share at least 3 videos showcasing stocks at key levels. Your engagement not only boosts the channel's reach, but also inspires me to keep going. Luxfer Holdings PLC is a global producer of engineered industrial materials, serving sectors like transportation, healthcare, and defense. With an income of $9 million on sales of $384 million, its profit margin sits at 2%. The company's PE ratio is 36, and its EPS is 34 cents. This is Luxfer Holdings PLC, ticker LXFR. Now let's move on to the third company on our list. Let's take a closer look at its daily timeframe technical chart. On June 14th, 2024, the stock began an uptrend that's clearly visible on the chart. This uptrend is defined by a rising trend line connecting the stock's higher lows, which often acts as a springboard for price movements. Currently, the stock is trading just about 0.1% above its uptrend support. If it finds support here, we could see a short-term rally. Assuming an entry at the current market price, the downside risk remains limited to about 0.1% if the stock breaks below the trend line. On the other hand, if the stock continues its uptrend and retests its recent high, it offers a potential upside of 18%, setting up a risk-to-reward ratio of about 1 to 18, a pretty solid setup for swing traders. However, by the time this video was recorded during trading hours on January 13th, the stock price was sitting exactly at the trend line. If it closes below this level, the setup for the long side will no longer be valid. Guys, my goal in sharing these stocks isn't to promise that they will rise from here. Instead, it's to highlight stocks that, based on their technical charts and price action, have the highest probability of moving upward. And if they don't, we have a clearly defined small stop loss in place to ensure our losses remain minimal. Now, let's talk about the fundamentals of this company. It operates in the communication services sector and has a market capitalization of just under $1.2 billion, making it a small cap stock. The company specializes in motion picture technology and presentation. Its business operates through 2 main segments: content solutions, which includes content enhancement and distribution services, and technology products and services, which focuses on the sale, lease, and maintenance of IMAX systems. For the latest fiscal year, the company reported an income of $23.29 million on sales of $345.55 million, with a profit margin of 6.74%. Its price-to-earnings ratio is 52.38, and the earnings per share stand at $0.43. The name of this stock is IMAX Corporation. And finally, let's dive into the fourth company on today's list. Once again, we're analyzing its technical chart on the daily time frame. This stock began its uptrend on February 8th, 2024, with a rising trend line connecting its higher lows. Currently, the stock is trading just about 0.3% above its uptrend support. If it manages to hold at this level, we could see a short-term rally. Assuming you enter at the current market price, the downside risk is limited to about 0.3%. On the flip side, if the stock continues its uptrend and retests its recent high, there's a potential upside of 30%, giving us a risk-to-reward ratio of approximately 1 to 30, a fantastic setup for anyone with a tight stop-loss strategy. The stock is taking support from its 200-day exponential moving average, adding another layer of confidence to the trade. However, it's still trading below its 50-day EMA, which is forming at about $22. If the stock faces rejection from that level, we could still see an impressive 10% upward movement before that happens. It's also worth noting the green candle forming right at the trend line, which is a positive sign for a potential bounce. Now let's discuss this company's fundamentals. The company specializes in animal health products and mineral nutrition solutions. Its business includes developing and marketing medicated feed additives, specialty nutritional products, and vaccines. It also produces specialty ingredients for industries such as personal care, automotive, and chemical catalysts. For the latest fiscal year, the company generated $17.41 million in income on sales of just over $1 billion, resulting in a profit margin of 1.66%. Its price-to-earnings ratio is 46.80, with earnings per share of $0.43. The name of this stock is Phibro Animal Health Corporation, trading under the ticker symbol PAHC. And that's a wrap for today, guys. I hope you found this analysis helpful and gained valuable insights into these 4 stocks with strong potential setups. Remember, the market is all about probabilities, not guarantees. Always trade with a plan, stick to your stop-loss levels, and manage your risk wisely. If you enjoyed this video and found it useful, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more in-depth stock market insights. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Are you watching any of these stocks, or do you have other setups in mind? Let me know and we can discuss them in upcoming videos. Thanks for spending your time with me today, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, happy trading and take care.